In gangster movies, you expect violence. In comedy, you expect to laugh.
So can't put it away.
In horror, you expect jump scares. It feels great temporarily, but it gets old very fast. Watch.
That's boring.
So here's a basic question. How do you terrify the audience when jump scares are out of the picture? Stuff it with monsters? It all pretty much works the same way. Once you see who's behind it, the tension drops and we're back to the story. But there's one thing that I always notice first. How do some beloved horror films stay with you for longer than many others? While some stay permanently.
Stares the audience in the eye and gives them images that are meant to kind of burn themselves into your mind.
First, it's done subliminally or subconsciously. The advantage is filmmakers can insert images in your mind without breaking tension and when your defenses are down. The Exorcist is the first horror movie to do it.
The subliminal cuts were largely images of this demon that sort of were meant to give the audience the feeling that the presence of the demon was constant in the house.
Zuzu flashes on screen for 1/8 of a second in 15 different scenes. Our blink speed is slower at 1/3 of a second. Jack Nicholson also does it in The Shining, except he's way more subtle with it. Not when he intentionally looks at the camera in the bar. It's these other moments when he looks at you only for a split second in different parts of the movie. Kubrick, being a perfectionist, makes me think these were intentional. But after you notice it, do you begin to ask yourself, who is he looking at? Is he looking at the camera or the audience?
You couldn't find some way of sort of not looking at her and looking down as you say the line.
For a modern example, we see a lot of demonic symbols scattered throughout Hereditary. Without the build-up, we don't anticipate being scared, but it's buried in your subconscious, waiting to be used. Second, when it's hiding in plain sight. Filmmakers do it to give you the feeling that the horror is always watching you. The imminent threat makes you feel vulnerable and nervous to what happens next.
And so by being subliminal and minimal, it works very well. I think it doesn't matter how good my cast was. The cast was fantastic. But without that beast, it wouldn't have been the same.
Ari Aster plants a few of these in his horror movies, like the face in the background trees in Midsommar, with a few more in Hereditary. Notice all of them come from negative areas in the frame. If you catch it, you anticipate if there's a follow-up attack coming. But if nothing happens, you just get more anxious. And if they don't see it, then it's subliminal.
Midsommar.
Oh, yeah.
Hereditary.
Yeah.
I find movies where something's just off, but it's not that explicit.
I agree.
That terrifies me.
Third comes from using liminal spaces. Liminal spaces are in between areas before you reach your destinations. Your bedroom is a destination, but long corridors and empty hallways are liminal spaces. The Substance makes great example of these areas. The perfectly sterile, white bathrooms create unsettling vibes for its emptiness.
And the bathroom is white, which has a very nightmarish effect.
To spice it up, Kubrick added red paint for more symbolism.
Here, this bathroom, we kind of, build the floor red, which was not red. All the red elements, we kind of build them to kind of add this almost bloody feeling that something strong and threatening is going to happen. All the lines, you have so many lines that gives a perspective feeling that is so strong.
The square wall patterns and lines give the feeling of a prison cell for the characters. Patterns and designs like the carpet add ambiguity. The design is shapeless, but your mind will still try to make sense of the shape. Fourth is with camera movement and framing composition. Shooting up from this angle, Danny looks bigger. But when we catch up with him, we change to a down angle. Kubrick lets negative spaces increase, so we expect one of the side doors to open. But it never does.
We had to invent ways of doing it, and we invented a wheelchair that Kubrick had made for himself so that he could be wheeled along shooting handheld. The lens was 1 inch above the floor, which is a stunning, wonderful place for the lens.
Hereditary does it with deep and disturbing images through broken family dynamics to dish out psychological horrors over typical jump scare. In the seance scene,
It might be better to just play it as a medium shot with the situation.
we're watching through this medium 3 shot. You're aware of the negative spaces behind, waiting for the attack to come. But nothing does, and the camera goes back to the middle. Until we switch to look under the table, but the audio cues reveal
Hello?
the threat's been the person
Mom?
that's been in the middle the whole time.
Mom?
I don't like this.
Mom!
Please, you're really freaking me out. Please stop.
Why are you scaring me?
Make it stop! Make it fucking stop! Make it stop! Please stop! Now make it stop!
You're scaring me!
It's not a film that capitalizes on jump scares or
torture
or like excessive gore, but it is a film that kind of dares you to look away.
And fifth is through storytelling. Horror movies tend to start their characters in wide open spaces. But good horror is all about reducing the area the characters can go until they confront death in the face.
Suspense is when the audience knows there's a bomb under the chair. Hitchcock will tell you there's a bomb under the chairs. And then that 5 minutes of dialogue is unbearable because you're wondering when the bomb will go off.
In The Shining, Jack and his family start off driving on a wide open road. After he accepts to be the hotel's caretaker, the area is reduced to the hotel and its premises. Soon, they're trapped indoors by a blizzard, and with one wrong move, Jack sets off on his murderous axe hunt.
Die. Axe murder kill.
Until he pushes them outside to a blizzard. So with all that, let's break down one scene from The Exorcist and study the terror. First, context. Regan plays with the Ouija board and gets possessed. Father Damien Karras is assigned to her case, while he struggles with money and faith himself. Karras can't afford to keep paying for his mother's hospital bill.
Private hospital? Who got the money for that, Jimmy? You?
She dies while he's out of town and learns about it through a friend.
Oh, Christ. I should have been there. I wasn't there. I should have been there.
There was nothing you could do.
That night, he dreams about her. Now, pay attention to how it makes you feel. Ready? First, we get a montage of 3 images, followed by Damien's mom walking up out of the subway. And he seems to be calling for her. She calls back to him, pleading for help. Still, no dialogue, only breathing sounds. He sprints to her, looking panicked and afraid. But when the camera flips back, she's already turned and heading down the subway. Now, let's jump forward 35 years. This is M. Night Shyamalan's The Happening. There's a massive outbreak of deadly airborne toxin, making its victim take their own lives. Elliot and other survivors split from a bigger group to increase their chance of survival. When the other group gets infected,
my firearm is my friend!
We get the gunshot signal. The response?
No.
I don't know.
It's an awkward and bizarre reaction to real threat and danger.
We need to do something!
Just let me think.
There were children in that Elliot, please tell us what to do!
I need a second, okay? Why can't anybody give me a goddamn second?
The camera closes up on Elliot, and we get a Karen-like monologue.
2 groups. Design an experiment. That's what I'm trying to do.
In The Exorcist, the camera never moves. We see his mother call Damien, then 2 flashes of Pazuzu. Karras sprints from what we think is the mother's POV, but the terror comes when the camera flips back. It's in the same spot as before, and seems like he's running in place. It's exactly the feeling of running inside a dream. It's iconic and chilling because all the methods used are tied to the central motive: the subliminals, the liminal spaces, the threat, the framing, and storytelling purely with images. But this scene tries to create tension with dialogues. Sure, the camera moves, but it doesn't relate with the gravitas of the situation. For all the actors in the scene, it feels awkward and counterintuitive.
As a filmmaker, you have to tell a story to the audience through an image, which means that you direct the eye and the heart to look in a certain way, the way you want it to be, the way you want them to see.
How do you heighten the impact in a pivotal scene like this? Well, if you know the theme, you can elevate the horror by layering influences on top of it. Start with the characters. Are they about to feel any pressure? Can the surrounding environment affect them? Tie it in with the context of the story and let it hang there subtly. If you want to make it feel uncomfortable, you can zoom in and exaggerate the details. Another option is to zoom all the way out and sprinkle clues on what's about to go down later. If a chase scene is imminent, you can foreshadow it like this. You can also just hold the shot on them as they're being stalked to make it more obvious.
Anything unexpected, anything that's going to jump out of them at them in the dark. If you can get people with their defenses down and get them in the open, you can grab them and do a job on them. And that's what I like to do.
What if you want to show how it feels to lose someone?
What do you mean?
I think my throat's getting bigger.
You can spend more time with those characters in empathizing moments before taking them out with a little bit of misdirection.
That's what's important in terms of this filmmaker.
Yeah.
And these actors, they're astounding, disturbing. There's no doubt. I mean, it's a horror film that way, but it's more than that.
Yeah,
it reminds
it
me
is.
of the best of the horror.
And you can combine several of these to make some really terrifying scenes.
The winner is William Peter Blatty for The Exorcist.
Robert Newton and Chris Newman for
The Exorcist.
Oh, Oscar winner, my ass. When was that? Back in the 30s?
You don't need to always terrify the audience. That's boring. But if you pair the right scare with the right motives, you get the audience more invested, facing the reality of true horror.
You know, one of the wonderful ironies about horror movies is that you spend all this time with the lighting and the photography and the casting and the costume and the sound and the scare and the script and everything. And if you get it all right, everybody's watching it like this.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to scare and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next one.